friends were involved in was big enough to get
Shane Langston, director of...
Never get close enough to a senator to find out what he...
Out of the Sky.
New Age has two babies.
I'm gonna swing by Homeland, see what they know about AM.
O'Donnell returns home with Reacher to inform his spouse and their kids that they will need to leave somewhere secure while the gang confronts Shane Langston and his henchmen. Neagley and Dixon are visiting New Age Technologies' Denver location, posing as members of the Defense Contract Management Agency in order to gain insight into their missile shipments. They realize they are far too late since all 650 missiles were previously delivered. In that vein, Reacher and O'Donnell contacted several federal authorities, who informed them that AM was a ghost, who constantly changed identities, and no one knew what country he was from. All that was publicly available was that he was a cold professional who would kill anybody who knew his face. AM pushed on receiving payments in bearer bonds, which the Treasury Department hadn't been using since the 1980s, to demonstrate how he left no data trail. As a result, he could transport millions of dollars in a suitcase. Reacher concluded this indicated AM was only going to make transactions in person, which provided an entry point. AM was in a tiny Indiana town when he told Langston he was on his way to Denver to obtain the bearer bonds. In Denver, Neagley and Dixon tracked down a cargo of 650 Little Wing missiles and launchers that have recently left the New Age Technologies manufacturing plant. Meanwhile, in Washington, Reacher and O'Donnell discussed the missing AM. With DHS agents Kareem, Abraham, Asto and Hernandez, Antonio Ortega. Homeland Security has his Azari Mahmoud pseudonym in their databases, but not much else. He serves as a conduit, linking terrible actors with even worse instruments. AM's sole passion is money, as he has no recognized political or religious ties. And he favors bearer bonds, also known as unregistered financial instrument. The typical fencing could be checked to see who was transferring the bearer bonds. Reacher, on the other hand, may be there at the point of sale. It belongs to the bearer. Sir AM will not allow anybody else to deliver money but him. That is where he is weak. A squad of assassins dressed as truck drivers halt New Age's truck, murder the driver, and then tell AM that they have the missiles.
I think we got him.
Do me a favor, grab the manifest.
What's up, Neely?
Hell of a lot, actually.
When Neagley and Dixon catch up with the henchmen, they engage in a horrific shootout. Most of the guys are killed by Neagley and Dixon, but one escapes with the package. Before the cops come, Neagley and Dixon flee the site. In the meantime, Reacher and O'Donnell speak with a couple of Homeland Security operatives who formerly worked with Joe Reacher. They disclose that AM is a wanted person, and they've been attempting to find him with little luck. Reacher threatens to murder him if he arrives at AM before them. Reacher and O'Donnell are informed of the truck hijacking by Neagley and Dixon, who report that Swan has signed off on the cargo. Reacher refuses to believe it. Rewind to the 110th, who used heroin obtained from a narcotics bust to apprehend a dealer. Reacher and Swan are chatting to the drug traffickers while Neagley, Franz, Orozco, and Sanchez are waiting in a van. Swan is recognized by one of the drug traffickers' personal delivery boys, causing the 110th to execute the perpetrators. Swan sacrifices himself for Reacher. Back in the moment, Senator Lavoy's protection detail picks up Reacher for a private chat regarding him at the Smithsonian National Zoological Park. Lavoy and Boyd make fun of Reacher for posing as a special agent and remind him of his time in Margrave. Lavoy, on the other hand, seeks Reacher's assistance. He admits that he approved the Little Wing project for national security grounds and to make some extra money, but he now is seeking atonement after learning that domestic terrorism is on the cards. Lavoy wants the 110th to make certain that the missiles are not utilized to murder people. While driving across Indiana, AM had a chat with Langston regarding the package and the 110th attack. Langston promises AM that the missiles will be ready for deployment by the moment that he arrives, and plans another assassination plot on the 110th.
Mr. Reacher. Why? Because in Boston, I can only assume that means your old unit's back together. Because a U.S. congressman got... Bottom line. If anyone knew you were involved, my hands clean. Walk over red tape that does nothing. I don't want to keep you around. It proves that. You like that one will be able to prove that you were no one left doing all your friends. Yeah.
Hey, you're not so jolly.
They go back to New York.
Had my office make some
The launchers and the missiles.
Yep.
Wherever the weapons were supposed to go.
They're missing till they open it up on the other end.
So we have no idea where they got the fire.
It's empty. Based on the tracks.
Just watch on New York skies.
Up with Bloomberg software.
Reacher, O'Donnell, Neagley, and Dixon are among those who attend Franz's funeral. Russo is shown consoling Franz's wife and child, which irritates Reacher because Russo has no relationship to Franz or his family. Reacher and Russo dispute, with Reacher condemning Russo of being a corrupt officer once more. Russo insists on being there for Franz's family since he was once in the child's place. Russo also claims to have done a background check on New Age's personnel, which revealed that they are all filthy NYPD policemen from the 3rd Precinct.
Yeah, but what you do, all former NYPD. Early retirement and the charges went away. But he's the only one that has military. With his background, for all we know.
Interview any of them?
Good. Just like Tony Stay Dirty. First
brother Calvin France to ensure uncertain hope of the rest.
Swan is the one exception, according to Russo, who was employed for his military expertise, which would be valuable to the terrorists. The episode ends with 2 snipers shooting at the funeral to kill the 110th.
Right, you two take the one on the left. As soon as they hear sirens, they scatter. You can do this. You're a great... Fuck this. Get in!
So you trust me now?
Square.
Neagley kills one of them, while the other one runs away. Reacher tries to chase him down on foot, but the shooter gets in a car. Russo picks Reacher up in a car and they chase him. They cause a crash, track him down, and Reacher interrogates him. The henchman reveals Swan hired him to kill the 110th. They take the sniper to the place where he was supposed to get his fees. As soon as he steps into the building, the place blows up. The episode concludes with 2 snipers firing during the burial to assassinate the 110th. One of them is killed by Neagley, while the other flees. Reacher attempts to pursue him on foot, but the gunman escapes in a vehicle. Russo picks up Reacher in a vehicle, and they pursue him. They cause a collision, chase him down, and question him. Swan hired him to murder the 110th, according to the henchman. They transport the shooter to the location where he was scheduled to be paid. The building explodes as soon as he goes inside.